Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video, and today I have a double page layout for one of Marcus's good friends' wedding, and I am cutting into this moth paper. I realized after I made that last layout with One Canoe 2's Twilight that I needed to scrapbook this wedding, and a lot of the colors went. So I was like, okay, I didn't use this moth paper on the last layout when I intended to, so we are using it on this one. So the very first thing I did was get some of these moths cut out. I figured since I was having such a hard time using it as a background paper or a layer, I would just fussy cut a couple of the moths and at least get them on the page as embellishment. So this page, especially because it needed to be 2 pages, and I'm already, as you saw in the last layout, in the very, very dregs of that collection. I went through all my Felicity Jane goodies. One of you, who I love so, so much and wanted to stay anonymous, sent me 3 huge boxes of all the Felicity Jane things, and I love you so much. So I've organized everything, and I went through some of the things and found a collection that actually coordinated really well to the Twilight collection. So this is Felicity Jane's Gabby that I'm going to be pulling in. I just pulled this wood grain in from my stash. This wedding was an outdoor wedding. It was really beautiful, and so I wanted to kind of pull those vibes into the page. So I have the leftovers of my Twilight collection I'm going to pull from, but I also have these goodies from Gabby. There's a couple Molly embellishments like the frames and the tags I'm going to try to pull in, but anything I think kind of coordinates. I'm trying to sneak Felicity Jane stuff into a bunch of my layouts because this wonderful person sent me so much that I kind of get to pull a little in on every page if stuff coordinates. So this one, there were several good papers to choose from. I loved this blue and pink floral. I really thought I was going to end up using that because the colors went so well. The colors for this wedding was blush and navy, which is already a combination that I love, but with the pops of gold and the wood tones from being outside, it was just so beautiful. So I was thinking about using this floral, but in the end I decided the floral would compete too much with the moths, and I would really rather have the moths as the focal point. But I did pull in several scraps. There's this light pink that I really like. There's a darker pink polka dot. I still have a scrap of the Constellation navy paper from One Canoe 2 Creekside, I believe was the collection. It was like one of their first collections, and I just wanted to pull it in because I've been hoarding this little scrap and I figured since this page is going to be a pink and blue kind of feel that it would go really well. So the first thing I'm going to do is what I typically like to do when I have double page layouts, and that's lay my photos out in a way that I like. And I really have enjoyed stacking them up on this center seam and working from the middle out. I really like having these elements span both pages, so it really just looks like one big layout. So that's what I'm trying to do now, is figure out where I want everything. I don't really like when the photos themselves go over the seam, but I do like them lined up against the seam just so it's very seamless when you're flipping through the album. So I just have several photos here. I basically went through all the photos that Claire had posted. So Justin is one of Marcus's really good friends, and it was his wedding, and Marcus is one of the groomsmen. And so yeah, I thought it was just really beautiful. But when Claire posted all the pictures, I went through and basically saved all the ones I saw Marcus in so that I could scrapbook them, and belatedly realized I was doing this page that I don't have like a picture of Claire's face, because all the pictures with Marcus were obviously towards the angle of Justin with the groomsmen behind him. So I don't know if I'll end up doing a second page for this or not. But I just love how it came together with all of the colors. I just thought her wedding was so beautiful. And so yeah, that's basically it. I just want to layer up all these little layers. I'm trying to get creative because, again, I only have scraps, and it's kind of even more difficult when you're working on a double page because you have to figure out how to make these smaller scraps not only work on a 12 by 12 but to work on a 12 by 24. So I'm just trying to be creative on how I stagger what I have. So this one pale pink solid I'm going to have staggered along the bottom. I'm going to have this kind of green and white checkered paper kind of be a skinny horizontal strip. I really liked how that pulled some of the green tones in from the trees. And then I'm just saving a little scrap of this pink so there could be a little sliver of it at the top. So that makes it look like a lot bigger of a chunk than it was. So hopefully it just looks like these pieces span behind all of the photos. And I don't do it on camera. I thought my camera was still rolling, but at the very, very end on this pale pink I'm adding to the top, that's where I do my journaling. I just go back with a navy pen. I just say Cogbill wedding, Justin and Claire with some hearts, just so that's documented on the page. So yeah, this was my plan. My plan was I was inspired again by the moth paper, and then I got going and kind of held off on the moths because I figured I'd use them kind of as embellishment towards the end. So I'm just trying to focus on my paper layers right now, and really pull into some of that Felicity Jane stuff. So again, same with this darker pink polka dot. I just cut it into 2 pieces so I can kind of stack them on the top and bottom of all of the photos, so that will look like a larger chunk. And I'm just trying to offset it from the other pink, so it looks like these photos have more paper behind them. So this is kind of where I'm thinking it'll go. Again, I'm just going to shove these scraps up under the other layers. I always get into trouble because I glue things down and then I need to shove layers behind them, and then I'm fighting with the glue. So it just takes me a minute to get all that down. The biggest thing is lining this up, just because I want when these pages are next to each other for them to flow and it to really look like one piece. So lining up all these scraps across the seam is the biggest challenge for me. But it actually went okay. So I'm just trying to get all that down. I'm going to commit to these little green pieces, but at this point I'm realizing everything looks very boxy, so I do end up doing my notebook edge punch on the bottom of those green and white plaids once I get this pink piece down, and I think that adds a little bit of interest and texture, just because so far there is just a lot of square angles and it's looking very blocky, so I like that addition. But we're getting this pink piece down. So basically what I did is the page that has like the bulk of that scrap, I'll get it positioned and then I'll cut off the overhang and then just match it up on the other side. And that seemed to work pretty well. I really want to pull in a blue layer. I had a scrap of that corrugated blue, but it was more of a royal blue, and as soon as I pulled it onto the page it was just too bright, so I went back to my neutrals. Here's that little plaid piece. That's going to be my horizontal element, and then I just have a tiny little scrap of that pink piece that I'll add to that page eventually. But here's my little notebook edge punch, just add a little bit of interest on that. And then this place was beautiful. It was called something Lake Estate, but it was beautiful. They had this big lake. They had this whole little wedding venue area, swings overlooking the lake. I mean, it was just so pretty, and it was kind of rainy that day, but it made it look like even more beautiful. It really just brought out all of the earthy tones, and hopefully you can see in the picture, it just was really, really nice. So I'm getting those down, and then I can't remember what I do next if I switch to trying to do embellishment. I really go off track because when I went to look through embellishment, I have my Felicity Jane and my One Canoe 2 stuff, but I also happened to re-find my captured thickers, which I'm pretty sure is from a crepe paper collection, but they are beautiful puffy stickers in my color scheme, and I couldn't not use them because I've been hoarding them, which is how they ended up lost. But once I found them, I knew I had to use those in my embellishment as well. So I start out with these moths, and then when I go to look for more embellishment, I find these stickers. And I get a little distracted with them because I just got really excited how well they went with the page. There's also moths in that one, and just all the colors I wanted to incorporate were in this sticker sheet. So I think I'm rifling through all my goodies right now to see what I want to use, but these are beautiful. I love these so much. And they have like orangey elements, which I wasn't sure if I was going to pull in the orange, but a lot of these wood tones and some of the trees in the background, this was like a fall wedding, have kind of that orangey tone. And I have some scraps of orange in my Felicity Jane stuff too, so I just figured maybe I could sneak some orange on this page. Here's the tags from the Molly collection, and I'm trying to find out which one I want to use. At first I thought about the floral because I was like, I need florals on this page. It's a wedding. but I decided it would just look better going with a black and white pattern. I love this black and white checkered pattern, and I have a frame and a tag in both of those, but then I didn't like how the checkered was on the green checkered at the bottom, so I decided to go with a different pattern. So I went with this more subtle white and black like leafy pattern, and I really like that. And I love that there's a coordinating tag and frame, because that means I can have one of those pieces on each side of this double, one per page, and that element will kind of be balanced. So now I just need to figure out what other elements I want to include. But I love the tag and I love the frame. And now I'm just going through the stickers and really trying to get the ones I for sure want down. There's this orange and pink puffy title that says always, and I thought that was appropriate since it was a wedding. So I'm just gonna line that up under that one photo. I definitely want to get some of these gold elements on here, because that was one of the things I really loved about Claire's aesthetic for this wedding, is she had all these earthy elements, but then she had these like really beautiful classic elements like gold accents and stuff like that that just really brought it to life. And so I want to include that on my page as well. That tag already has a gold hole reinforcer on it, so I kind of have a little glimmer there, but I for sure want to use some of these gold elements on the sticker sheets. But before I got too far, I wanted to make sure this frame would work. And since I did pull in that always with the orange, I went ahead and backed that frame in a scrap piece of orange I had as well. So now I just need to make sure that looks cohesive across the page. But yeah, I really just wanted to throw this entire sticker sheet at this page, and I knew that that wouldn't look good if I really just piled all of it. So I tried to restrain myself. And as you will see, I start adding florals from the sticker sheet, which I love. I used most of the florals, I think. Did I use all of them? I used all the florals in that sticker sheet, but I thought it was a wedding and they just went so well that I thought if I could form a visual triangle across the double with these floral pieces, that would be a really nice way to embellish. And then I got hung up a little bit because after I did this, I really loved how it looked. But I was realizing as I was putting this page together, I got to a certain point where I was like, oh, I love this so much. And then I look up and I was like, oh, I haven't used any of the moths. So I had to go back because once again, I pulled in this 1 Canoe 2 moth paper that I love so much and like didn't use it. I got to like the end of this page and was like, I didn't use the moths. So I went back and added moths because they were getting on this page. But as you can see, I am very distracted with the stickers. So right now I'm having a lot of fun building my clusters with all of these goodies. I decided to use the Good Things gold title. Just again, it's a wedding and I feel like that was the most appropriate out of all of them to document a wedding page. So I just want to get a little glimmer of gold on here. These stickers, as cute as they are not sticky at all. So I do have to go back with my Tombow Mono Multi and add glue to everything. Otherwise, they just kept popping off and wouldn't sit still. But they're cute, so it's okay, and it's worth the extra trouble. So I think I'm just trying to get glue on the fiddly bits. I also really like how the sticker sheet has all these little ephemera like stickers. Like I love all the little diamonds that are like little sparkly diamond looking ephemera. So I'm going to spread those around the page as well. But yeah, I'm going to fight with these for a minute until I get them stuck down with the glue. The floral ones actually were very sticky. I didn't have to add glue to those, but yeah, the letters and like the little diamonds, I had to go and add glue on. So, but yeah, they're cute. You can see I'm slipping and sliding before I add the glue. But I'm just gonna have this serve as my title, the little Good Things title. I like how it's kind of branching out from that one floral cluster. And that's when I kind of decided I have this open area on this side where it's just wood grain. So I want to kind of fill up that corner with embellishment. So I have my florals, I have my title. I do go in and add some of those little diamond bits. I don't know if I do that yet or not. I think I do. But I just want to incorporate like all the colors I'm incorporating. So I have an orangey one over there just to, again, to pull the orange into that side. I have some gold, blush, and navy. I mean, it really went so perfect with this collection. So I think those are nice little accents, and it just gives you a little glimmer of some of these other colors I've used on the page. It kind of just spreads them around over here and ties them all together, which I love. So there's my asterisks. I'll leave them for a moment because I'm not sure they're positioning yet or if I want to switch out the colors. So I'm just putting them all down for now. And then I'll go back and glue them all down. But I realized after I kind of got these things down and I pulled in some of the navy diamonds that I really did want to incorporate a navy paper. And that's when I was like, oh, I can finally use my Creekside scrap that I've been hoarding forever. So I have this little piece of constellation paper that I've had for years and cannot throw away because it's too cute. And I decided just to add it as a layer on the top, since so much of that was just that pink polka dot. I really feel like it could hold up to having an extra layer tucked up in that space. And typically when I add a paper like this, I'll want it to be somewhere else on the page so it feels balanced, but I really feel like there's enough navy in the photos where it actually looks okay. I just didn't feel like there was enough room on the bottom to add another layer down there. And I kind of don't think once I got this down that it really needed it, because I kind of feel like the blue is balanced across the page just from the photos. So I leave it. But you can see that one little scrap I cut into 3 pieces so that it could span both pages, and then have this little piece left over to tuck on the other side of this tag. So hopefully it looks like a longer piece than it actually is. And once again, I glued down the layer I needed to tuck this behind. So I had to pry that up to get that down. Which was a little bit of a mess, but I think it worked out okay. I'm just happy I got that paper used up, and I think this was a really beautiful page to get it used up on. So finally have incorporated some One Canoe 2. The pale pink I do think is One Canoe 2 too, but I really got sidetracked with the Felicity Jane and with these puffy stickers, and then here I am like, oh, I need to get the moths on here. And for a moment I was tempted to use the moths on the sticker sheet because they're so cute too, but in the end I was like, no, you need to use the One Canoe 2 moths. So I just decided to stack a couple on either side so these moths are framing the page. Again, I'm thinking about using maybe one of the moths on the sticker sheet, but I decide I'm going to use the One Canoe 2 moths, and then I would go in with some of the word puffy stickers from the sticker sheet so that I can use some more stickers and also keep the moths I was originally deciding to use. And again, I love the way they color coordinated the different words, so I can kind of pull in pops of color, whichever color I feel like needs to be spread around. So I added a navy sticker that says friends over to the frame, and then I added a navy breathe and an orange beautiful over on the floral cluster to the right. So that really helped, I think, with the colors, and I just wanted some more text on here, some more sentiments and layery embellishments, so that really, I think, helped. I also added this orange and pink ampersand circular sticker to that floral cluster on the frame, and I think that's super cute too. I think ampersands are so perfect for weddings just because it's, you know, so and so and so and so. So you're combining, and I just think ampersands are really good. So I really am happy I have that on there too, and I think it helps balance the orange beautiful word sticker on the opposite side. So that all makes me very happy. And then I definitely wanted to pull in some more gold since I have the gold title, and there are some gold puffy borders. So I have this dot and dashed one that I'm going to run along the bottom of the photos, and then I have this kind of rainbow scallop that I want to run across the top. So I think those are really sweet accents too. I just love the pop of gold. At a certain point I was like, am I getting too sticker happy and just adding stickers everywhere? And the answer was yes, but I didn't care because I really liked how this one looked. So it does end up kind of stickers everywhere, but hopefully these border stickers read more as border accents and not just I stick stickers all over this page, because I really did. And I had a whole other piece of this rainbow border and the dot and dash border, but I decided to be stingy and hoard them, so I'm just cutting one of them into 2 pieces to make them spread across the page, because I kind of feel like that's all I needed, and I'm hoping I can use the other ones on a different page. So I'm trying to see what else I want to add. I did decide to add a moth in the center. I have the moths on either side of the page, but I really felt like I should have at least one moth towards the middle. So I did add this moth here, and I felt like the moth needed some friends. So I'm just adding a couple more of those little diamond sparkly embellishments up there, just so that looks like a little finished cluster too. And I like that that kind of goes into this rainbow border, so it's all kind of flowy. So I think I'm almost done with embellishment. I do end up going and popping all of these moths up on some scraps of paper just so there's a little bit of dimension with the moths and they're not flat on the background. So this is all I did. I took a scrap piece of paper and accordion folded it a couple times and just glued those scraps together to form a little bit of dimension. I have those foam squares, but for whatever reason, for certain things, I've just enjoyed using my scraps like this to give dimension. Sometimes the foam is just a little bit too much dimension, and I don't want to fiddle around with having to take all the little backings off of all the little squares. So sometimes it's just easier for me to stick some glue on some scrap paper and fold it up and glue that behind stuff I want to pop up, which seems to work pretty well. So I did do that with all of the moths, but I didn't make you watch all of it. And then I just went back with a final sprinkle of my gold Heidi Swap color shine. So here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.